The opposing party's client, formerly known as your wife. That's what we're going to discuss today on Resilient Man channel. Guys, welcome back to the channel. This message is going to be for you guys out there who are separated, thinking about separating and getting divorced. There's a lot to consider. There's a lot to prepare for. And I'm going to share a list of items to help you prepare as a man as you move forward to go against the opposing party's client, formerly known as your wife. So, first and foremost, you really need to make that paradigm shift and make that mindset change that this is now, or will be if you move forward with divorce, this is the opposing party's client, formerly known as your wife. Some guys out there will not want to accept that and will tell themselves, she would never hurt me. She's not going to take the children. She's not going to, drag me through the courts and, ruin my life in family court. Well, you need to not fool yourself. You need to change your mindset to one of, this is the opposing party's client, formerly known as my wife, and this is not the woman that I married. That woman's gone. That woman is gone. She's long gone. Once you've made the decision to separate and move on to divorce, then it's time to prepare. So that's what we're going to get into today on Resilient Man channel, is how to best prepare to go against the opposing party's client, formerly known as your wife. Like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Please comment down below any thoughts or any suggestions and advice that you would add from a preparation standpoint as well. So let's get into the divorce preparation checklist for men. So first and foremost, after the mindset change, you need to start gathering financial information. Your bank statements, your loan statements, your credit card bills, your car notes, any of those assets and liabilities. It's best, you need to gather them all. You need to scan them and have copies of all of these documents, and make sure that you are organized so you have a full knowledge of everything that you have from a financial standpoint and an asset standpoint, so nothing is missed. Incidentally, I'm actually going to copy and paste this list into the description. I'm not going to go through everyone in minute detail, but I will paste the preparation checklist in the description of this message. You can go there and actually copy and paste it yourself. So first and foremost is gather your financial information, everything and everything. Scan them, make copies, make sure you have all that information for yourself. Number two, move your personal items out of the home, especially if you have valuables. Now, this is not to hide them or anything like that. This is to protect them. And I would also create a inventory of your valuables. Let's say you have a valuable baseball collection or a valuable gun collection, whatever the case might be. Move them out of a home to a safe place where they can't be damaged by her, they cannot be sold by her. And again, not hiding them, just protecting them, because if you don't, they could become damaged. She could sell them, and quite frankly, there's nothing you can do without going to court. And number one, you would have to prove that she did it, and then you'd have to fight her to actually recoup that value, that money back from her. So, number three, open accounts solely in your name. bank accounts, credit card accounts. Fund these accounts. Make sure that you have a cushion in these accounts because the rainy day is coming and you will need to prepare. So you definitely want to separate bank accounts, credit cards account, all of that good stuff, and make sure they are funded so she can't leave you high and dry. She can't empty the accounts and leave you with nothing. Number 4 would be get account alerts sent to your cell phone, be it the financial institutions, the car notes, the credit cards, any of those things. You need the alerts. Make sure that you have alerts coming to your phone, your email. You have these notices, so you know if anything comes up, if anything has changed, or if she tries to change anything, you're fully aware of what's going on. You also should get a credit report and make sure that every account, is in your name and that those are monitored as well. Number 5, change your passwords and your email passwords and such, and account passwords, and change your mailing address. What I would strongly suggest as well is that once you notify your spouse that we're moving forward with divorce, you should go get a post office box and have your mail sent directly to that as a separate entity. It makes it much more efficient and cleaner, especially if you are moving to a new address and maybe you don't want to be bothered at that address. A post office box, personally, I had one while I was going through my divorce. It was very helpful, and I could go pick up my mail. It was there, and I had my own actual address. So, number 6, secure your credit cards and financial accounts. If you do have joint accounts, make certain that your spouse is not an authorized user, or if you have credit cards and financial accounts in your names, make sure your spouse is not an authorized user as well. You need to do this immediately. Otherwise, she could take funds, she could run up credit card bills, and there's nothing you can do. You will have to pay that. So if you have joint accounts, you will need to work with her as soon as possible to get these accounts removed and discuss with your attorney what options you have from that perspective, because you need to get her removed. You need to have this separate. Number 7, create a budget for both you and your spouse, your soon-to-be ex-wife, on a month-to-month basis. Work that out. What exactly the monthly expenses are going to be, for your home, for her home, with the kids, all those things. Put it in an Excel spreadsheet. Make sure that those things are written down. How much you will need, how much she will need, monthly income, all those type of things, that they are documented and written down. It's almost like a separation document, if you will, if you're not actually filing the formal legal separation, if you don't have to do that in your state. Number 8, gather all other information. And this, again, I'm going to post this list in the description of this message, so everything's written down here. But what I mean by other information: your spouse's social security numbers, your children's social security numbers, tax returns as far back as you should get them. You should have copies of all of this. Financial statements, retirement accounts, rollover related documents, everything and anything as far back as you can get them. Credit card statements for those active credit cards account. Get a photocopy of your spouse's driver's license and passport. That will come in handy, definitely. Again, a copy of your children's social security cards and passports, a copy of your spouse's pay stubs, which should be within those tax documents that you gather as well. Names of mental health professionals that you and your spouse may have seen or your children may have seen, marriage counselors. All that information needs to be documented to make sure it's at your fingertips, especially for your attorney. Deeds or titles to any properties owned by you and your spouse jointly. Those things need to be documented, and make sure you have copies for yourself as well. And then a copy of a will that you have, or you and your spouse have, and a listing of the beneficiaries, and make sure that. Any documentation related to any inheritance that you may have received during the marriage, or she received during the marriage, and any documentation related to gifts made to you, financial gifts or whatever the case may be. You need those documented as well to make sure that if and probably when that comes up in court, she cannot extract money from you from that perspective as well. So guys, that is the list. Again, I'm going to post it, the preparation list for you as a man if you're going into separation, are getting divorced. These are the main preparation list that I will put in the description here to make sure. And then, extremely important, consult with an experienced divorce attorney. Now you might say, yeah, obviously, you need to consult. I would suggest you consult with at least 3 attorneys. Ask them, how long have you been practicing? How many contested divorces have you tried in court? What's your win rate? Get a list of questions. Prepare a list of questions for the attorney for when you have the initial conversation. You can go down the list. They need to be able to answer the list. I remember in my case, I counseled with 3, and one attorney, I asked him, so how many contested divorces have you tried? And he said, oh, only a few. And I said, how long have you been practicing? And he said, 13 years. And I thought, yeah, you're not representing me. Then there was another attorney that I counseled with who, she was a sharp lady and everything. But then when I went and looked at her on LinkedIn, which I highly recommend, you go check out the attorney on LinkedIn, she'd only been practicing law for a year. I was like, there's no way in hell that you're representing me. So I ended up with the third consultation with the attorney, and he had a 20 plus year experience in family law. That's all he did was family law. Very experienced. When I laid out my situation, he advised me and gave me perspectives that the other 2 had no clue, and he knew what he was doing, and things turned out very well. So something to consider. And guys, when you hire an attorney, listen to them. Get good counsel and listen to them and do what they are counseling and advising you to do. That's what you're paying them for. They are a third party removed emotionally from the situation, and that is what you want. That's what you're paying them for. In my personal case, my attorney laid out, this is what I want you to do. I did it to a T. I did exactly what I was asked of. And which he, worked out very well. The other thing that I would recommend if you are in separation and going into divorce or in the divorce process, is I would recommend you get a good therapist. You need to deal with the grief, the loss, the anger, the bitterness, the sadness, the disappointment, all the things that come with going through the hell that you are going through right now. And it is hell, okay? What you're feeling is legitimate and you need someone to discuss it with. What I would recommend as a man, you find another man therapist, preferably somebody who is married, who understands the husband role, the marital role, especially if you have kids. They can relate. They have life experience similar to yours is what I mean. But I would highly recommend that, because do not go through this alone. Friends and family may be there for you initially, but quite frankly, most people get tired of hearing it and they don't want to hear about your divorce and what you're going through. A good counselor, a good therapist will actually help you navigate that, and it's their job to listen. It's their job to give you perspective and help you to best cope with this emotionally. Because you want to come through this. Number one, you have to go through it to get through it. And you want to get through it and come out the other end better, not bitter. So that should be your goal. And with a good therapist, they can help you do that. So, guys, those are the things that I would share today. Again, when I heard the term, the opposing party's client, for me, something clicked. And it really changed my paradigm. It changed my mindset that this is no longer the woman that I married. This is not, that woman is gone. You need to have that change, that same mindset change too, and get prepared. Get prepared for what you're going through and what may come at you. So, guys, I wish you the very best. Going through a divorce is not fun. It's never going to be fun. It's very tough, quite frankly, emotionally and mentally and financially and even physically. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. But here's the thing, okay? You will get through this. You're going to get through it. You're going to get on the other side, and you're going to be a much stronger, resilient man. In many cases, you're going to be much happier and have much more peace in your life. So move forward with that perspective in mind. So, guys, I hope this preparation list was helpful to you. I hope you're enjoying Resilient Man channel content. There's a lot of content on Resilient Man channel specifically dealing with these type of content, the challenges that we as men face in our society, the things that we go through, and the goal of this channel is to men helping other men, helping us to navigate and get through these challenges. So like and subscribe to the channel, support the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Comment down below if you have other thoughts, other ideas for preparation that may be of help to other men who may be watching this. Focus on you. Focus on being the best version of yourself in the midst of going through this major challenges. And that's going to bring you happiness in the long term and help you get through it. So, guys, know your worth, protect your peace.